going live in YouTube as well.
Hopefully, yes. Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, good. Yeah, thank you very much, guys, and sorry for the few minutes delay. Just something needs to go wrong. Well. It will go wrong when you're doing a live session. That's for sure.
Oh, good. Yeah, thank you very much, guys, and sorry for the few minutes delay.
Live session
just
with João Vitor.
Something needs to go wrong. Today, it will go wrong when you're doing a live session. That's for sure.
With Francisco, another free consulting service.
Did you guys enjoy yesterday's live session?
Was one of the lucky winners of the 15 minutes of free consulting as well.
And today,
also I'm going
we're going to
questions after
with Francisco, another
tonight.
Free consulting service.
Just not sure
Francisco was one of the lucky winners of the 15
Good, Francisco.
minutes of free consulting.
All right,
as well.
So without
and also I'm going to be answering
further ado, I will invite him.
I speak with him
we'll have
tonight.
The consulting session with him, and then you can start thinking about your questions.
Yeah, he's joined.
Type in the comments.
Good, Francisco.
The questions that you have about the validation process. If you have questions about how to get a job as an engineer here in Australia as well, I'm more than happy to share some of information.
The consulting session with him, and then you can start thinking about your questions.
I will
invite type in the comments the questions that you have about the validation process. If you have questions about how to get a job as an engineer here in Australia as well, I'm more than happy to share some of information that I have as well. So I will invite him.
Hopefully he will join. I invited him. So yes, he's joined. Are you Francisco?
Hi. Just a minute. Oh.
I think you need to mirror your. Yeah. All right. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Yeah, it's a bit. It's getting colder here in Brisbane.
Yeah, in Melbourne. I spoke with another Brazilian, and she said that this autumn she lives here. She's been living here for 80 years, and she said that this autumn is this fall actually is one of the coldest that she felt.
Yeah, it started to get colder a little bit earlier. Yeah. All right. Now, thanks, Francisco, and again. Once again, thank you very much for participating in the workshop back in March. And you were in Brazil when you spoke at the workshop, and now you're in Melbourne. So I would like to ask you if you could introduce yourself, your name, what type of engineering that you completed, when did you graduate, you're in Melbourne, and why did you come to Australia? Thank you.
Okay, just a minute. I'll just try to put headphones.
Okay.
Thanks, better.
Yeah, for me as well. Sometimes with headphone works better. Yeah.
Is it working?
Yeah, as it is.
The audio is good?
It's good.
Okay,
this for me is good.
So, hi guys, I'm Francisco. Good evening for Australian people, and good morning to Brazilians. I'm I'm a civil engineer. I'm here in Melbourne about a month, and I'm in the process of validating my diploma. And Gerson is, I don't know how to say that, Gerson. It's mentoring.
Yeah, I'm your mentor.
Yeah, he's my mentor.
You are my mentee, and I am your mentor, and you are doing my mentoring program.
Nice. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, Francisco. Yeah, thanks, Francisco, for the trust in my services and in my mentoring program. We're certainly going to work together so I can help you to make your application really, really strong so you can become an engineer, civil engineer here in Australia. Australia needs lots and lots of engineers, and I'm pretty sure that you will be a new civil engineer here in Australia. Okay,
For
good.
sure.
So,
Hopefully.
yeah. What questions do you have for me that I can help you, Francisco?
Let's go. I have some friends that I invited to this live. I don't know if they are already woken up, but okay. I want to make some questions that are mine, but some of them wants to get more information about this process, and I will start with what's the difference between validate your experience and validate just the diploma?
All right. That's a very good question, Francisco, especially because they are two separate processes. So when you validate your diploma or your qualification, that is the skills assessment. So that is a skills assessment, and then there's what they call RSEA. It's a relevant skilled employment assessment. So in Portuguese it would be avaliação do serviço da experiência de serviço especializado, something like that. So the difference is when you want to validate your qualification, which is to validate your diploma, you can just do your diploma validation. And that is obviously important for your visa process, especially if you are going to apply for a skilled migration visa. It's a prerequisite that you validate your qualification so you can get a letter from Engineers Australia saying that your qualification is equivalent to an Australian qualification as a civil engineer, and you can use a particular code for your migration process. So that's one thing. When you validate your experience, your work experience, you get points. You get, obviously, when you validate your qualification, you get points, but you can get more points if you validate your work experience. And that is usually with a registered migration agent will be able to tell you how many points you will get if you validate this many years in the last, I don't know, 10 years, let's say. So I know that obviously the more experience that you have, obviously more points. And if I'm not wrong, maybe others in the audience, they know already. If you have experience overseas, you get some points. If you have experience in Australia, you get more points. So, and because the migration system here in Australia is about points, whoever's got more points will be receiving an invitation from the government. Nowadays, when I applied, it was different. Didn't really have invitation. Didn't have what they call EOI, expression of interest, you just achieved a certain number of points. And once you achieved a certain number of points, you could submit your application, and you didn't really need to be invited. They were going to assess your application, and then if it was all good, they would grant you the visa. But now, because obviously the government, they try to manage the number of immigrants that are coming to Australia, so that's why they have now this points system. A lot of people, they submit the expression of interest, and then the government will decide how many immigrants they're going to allow to come to Australia by selecting by the number of points, by selecting by the occupation. And that's why it's so important to have a lot of points. So obviously, a migration agent will be able to let you know in your profession, in your state, with your points, how many points you have, and how is your chance to get an invitation as well. But that's basically the difference. The work experience, you validate, obviously, if you haven't worked, you cannot validate your work experience. But if you have worked, you then can validate your work experience to get more points. But also, if you validate your points, your experience, but you haven't validated your diploma, it's going to be a bit difficult to apply under the skilled migration, because it's a prerequisite for you to validate your qualification. If you want, you can then validate your work experience to get more points.
Nice. Jess, you said something that get us to the next question. You said that I can use experience overseas and experience in Australia. I'm here doing studying a diploma of project management, and I started looking for a job here, and I found a junior project manager job. So I have spoken with my teacher at the college, and she said, "Oh, this is a huge opportunity for you, because they want someone to grow in the company." So
the company,
like in the beginning of the career of project manager. So the question is, I will, if I will be the one that will be selected. Yeah, to get the job. I will have I have the opportunity to put this experience on the validation of the diploma, or I can use this just for validating experience? I don't know if it's clear.
No, it is clear. It all depends, obviously, what are the activities, the work that you're going to do. You can work as a project manager. Let's say that an assistant or junior project manager. However, if you do the activities of a civil engineer, sometimes the title is important, but sometimes if the title is not quite there, like a civil engineer, but if you've done engineering work, Engineers Australia may accept that experience as part of your qualification validation, because it's important, it's when you describe your career episodes, that you describe that you utilized your engineering knowledge, your engineering judgment, your engineering competencies, your engineering skills. So if you're working as a junior project manager, but if you are doing civil engineering work, it's a good thing. If you're working as a junior project manager, but doing project management activities, it may not be a good idea because you will not be able to demonstrate all the engineering skills and competencies that you applied in that work. Obviously, you can use some of the project management experiences in some of the competencies, but you're probably going to have difficulties to write about some engineering competencies. So that's the thing about the project management. Engineers Australia keeps saying, I am evaluating you, I am assessing your skills as an engineer. I'm not assessing your skills as a project manager. If you want to become a project manager, you need to go to another institution, not to Engineers Australia. So that's for the validation. For the work experience, it's also similar thing, because the name of the assessment of the work experience is relevant, skilled employment assessment. So relevant, it's relevant to the occupation that you're going to apply for. If you're going to apply for civil engineering or civil engineer, the relevant experience is the experience which is relevant to the civil engineer. So if you do your work as a junior project manager, but you're doing mainly the activities of a civil engineer, potentially it could be relevant to the civil engineering, and potentially you could use that to validate your work experience. But if you just do, you're employed as a junior project manager and you work pretty much as a project manager, and you are validating as a civil engineer your experience, it's not going to be relevant because the activity that you're doing is relevant to the project manager, but it's not really relevant to the civil engineer. So you need to be careful. The job of a project manager, it's a bit, you got to be careful, because if you're thinking that you can use that experience to validate your qualification and your work experience as a civil engineer, if you don't really do civil engineering activities, you're probably going to have difficulties to validate your qualification as well as validating your work experience.
Nice. I am concerned about that because the job role says like I would be someone that connects the site with the I forgot.
With the client?
No, not the client.
Pode falar em português.
Escritório. I don't remember.
With the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the office. So I would be that person, you know. And I thought, oh, that's a good doubt that it may make difference on my assessment.
Yeah, and that's mainly the job of the project manager or the assistant project manager. You are like the how can I say, in English you say you would be, according to what you said, the middleman, the intermediário in between the site and the office. The office wants this to be done, and then you're going to be there on the site. You're going then to give instructions to your site crew what they need to do. So it's according to expectation from the office. So yeah, just got to be careful that you keep in mind the definition, the occupation definition according to ANZ SEO. But, you know, a job as an assistant project manager, I don't know what industry it is, if it is residential, building, commercial, if it is infrastructure, if it is, but a job as a junior project manager can put you very close to the engineers. And if you can get a job within the industry where there are engineers, as a junior project manager, it's going to probably be much easier for you to perhaps get a job as a junior civil engineer when you are close to other engineers. So it's a good opportunity, that's for sure. The only thing is that you may not be able to use that experience in your validation, but can give you a very good opportunity to get a job as an engineer, because people will know and people will ask, oh, Francisco, yeah, you're a civil engineer, why are you doing project management? We need a civil engineer here. And so, and I know many people that did that. They started in a different role, either in quality or even as a laborer, as a project manager, and then they ended up knowing other engineers and ended up getting a job as engineers.
That's a good thing to hear, because when I started looking for a job, you know, we Brazilian, I think this is a feeling that everyone has, but I didn't want to stay without work for so much time. So I start to think, well, I want to work, but I want to work as close as I can to the engineering guys, you know, to have the opportunity of the network, maybe, or to learn a little bit of Australian engineers or Australian engineering, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, if you can get a job in the industry, obviously it will give you much better chances to get a job as an engineer later on. So yeah, if you have the chance, yeah, go for it. You actually, when you go to our portal, the mentoring portal, when you go to the bonus and downloads, you will find the ebooks that are the bonus. There's an ebook for the preparation of your curriculum vitae. There's the ebook for the preparation of the cover letter. And also there's an ebook for how to behave in professional interviews. So I encourage you to read those ebooks. And
actually, I already had. I already read.
You already had.
Good. They help me a lot to improve, because other thing that leave us to the other question is that there is a good difference between a CV in Brazil and a CV here in Australia. I spoke once again with the teacher of the diploma of project management, and I show her my CV, my resume, and from Brazil, but only translated. And she said, "Oh, I think you have a good qualification, but you're not showing them what you already achieved, what you have done, what were your results. And I said, wow, here is quite different. So she pointed me some mistakes, some so she made some comments. Then I started I started to improve the CV. So this led us to the next question. In the assessment, you said in the workshop that we have to say these things like achievements, results. How precise they need to be to convince them, to show them what you already have done.
Yeah, that's a good question, Francisco. And I participated already, and I chaired, I don't know, dozens, even maybe more than 100 recruitment panels. And what really gets the panel is the curiosity. So you need to include in your CV and in the cover letter enough details to raise the curiosity of the panel members. So the panel members, they think, I want to know more about this guy or this girl. So when you say that in your, let's say, in a particular job, you've improved productivity of the work site by 35% when you implemented an innovation that you created, for example. You don't say what innovation, because when the panel members, they read that you've improved 35% productivity, they're already going to be, oh, right, so that's a good thing. And he's saying that he's improved 35% productivity because of an innovation that he implemented. What is this innovation? So let's know more about this guy. And then
let's interview him.
And then you have better chances to get an interview, because people will say, well, the other ones, even if other ones, if they improved productivity as well, but because you mentioned that because of an innovation that you implemented, they will be more curious about you, because they want to know, what's this innovation? We want to know that. So you need to put details, obviously details that are, as I say in the ebooks, that are customized to the position that you're applying, but not too many details. You got to leave some details for the interview. It's just the level of details that is enough for them to pay attention to your cover letter and in your CV, and give them the, I've got now an expectation that I want to know more. So
I don't know how to say that in Australia, but you're saying that I have to keep with me the cereja do bolo. That's it?
Yes. The cream of the cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually these are my questions right now.
Right.
If you want to explore more this subject, actually it's just a month, but I learned about a lot about how can I position myself. I found out that I cannot behave myself. Yeah, the same way that I used to do in Brazil. I think the CV here is, I felt that's more real. It's something.
Yes, because in Brazil, yeah, it's been a long time, but in Brazil, when I left, I don't know if that's the same. They used to say that it was just a one-page CV. In one page, you can't really put a lot of details. So here, it is common that companies even accept CVs up to 5 pages and cover letters up to 2 pages. So the cover letter is also very important. I believe, in my view, the cover letter is more important than the CV. So make sure that you follow the tips in the ebooks, and you customize your cover letter as well according to the competencies that they are requiring in the job position description. A lot of people, they just kind of send 100 resumes, the same resumes and the same cover letters to every single position, and they don't get a phone call. Surprise, surprise, because the CVs and the cover letters, they are not customized to the position. So it's pretty much for each position, you've got to review your CV and you've got to review your cover letter and customize according to the position that you're applying. You will improve quite substantially the chances for you to get an interview. The important thing is to get an interview. If you get an interview, you are there probably already 75%. The job is yours, almost 75%. But obviously, the tricky bit is to get an interview. So you need to stand out, se diferenciar, be different. So people will pay attention to your application.
Nice. This
right.
is a good one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, thank you very much, Francisco. Thanks for your
questions. No, I say
Yeah.
thank you.
No, thank you for accepting to be live with me. I'm pretty sure that even though they were your questions, but I believe that those questions are the questions of a lot of people, and I hope that our conversation also helped a lot of other engineers and other people that are watching us here as well.
Certainly, I have some friends that they're thinking of coming to Australia too, and I sent the card that you prepared of the live, but I don't know if they're here or if they are still sleeping. But they said, oh, it's gonna be recorded, and I said,
it's going to be recorded. Yeah, it's going to be in my profile in the Instagram. So yeah. And also for those ones that want to know more about the validation process, I am going to promote the workshop, Engineer Journey 2024, starting Sunday, the 19th of May, 9 a.m. Brisbane time. And also there will be a live session on Monday and Tuesday, 7 p.m. Brisbane time, where you, as like Francisco, participated very well. He was one of the lucky winners of the free consultation as well. So the link is in my bio if you want to. Last day, yes. If you want to participate, the link is in my bio. Make sure that when you submit your registration, you join the WhatsApp group as well, because I'm going to put some challenges starting probably next week in the WhatsApp group, so you can have a chance to start winning some of the consultations even by the end of next week, before the workshop even starts. And now I'm probably going to be answering some There are some questions people sending in YouTube. All right, I won't hold you up more, Francisco. Again, thank you very much, and
No, thank
you're
you.
more than welcome to keep watching. And thank you for your participation, and we will certainly catch up in our mentoring.
For sure. Thank you, Jason. I appreciated this time.
No
See ya.
worries. Okay, thank you. See ya. All right, so there's a question here from Mario Osorio in YouTube. Again, if you didn't hit the like button, if you like the information that we shared with Francisco, if you like the information about the validation process, how to get a job in Australia, hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. And obviously, it keeps motivating me to keep doing this. So Mario in YouTube, he's asked, what kind of master degree would you recommend to make sense for an engineer on the eyes of Engineers Australia? Yeah, that's a good question, Mario. If your question is about in the eyes to get validated as an engineer, for Engineers Australia doesn't really matter, because to get validated as an engineer in Australia for migration purposes, it needs to be your bachelor degree. So that's your civil engineering or mechanical engineering, whatever engineering you did. For you to validate with the migration purpose, it needs to be your bachelor degree. If you want to apply for a visa, permanent visa, for example. But if you just want to become a member of Engineers Australia without having the migration purpose, then you need to choose a master's degree, which is accredited by Engineers Australia. Yes, you can become a member of Engineers Australia without validating your bachelor degree if you complete a master's degree, which is accredited by Engineers Australia. The only thing is that you can become a member of Engineers Australia, but you're not going to get the letter from Engineers Australia to join your migration process. So becoming a member doesn't really mean that you are okay to apply for a visa. To apply for a visa, you need to have your skills assessment. And the skills assessment is done with your bachelor degree. And Mario is saying, congratulations for this event. For us, it's a challenge to speak other languages, but we are doing it. Let's conquer the world. Yes, that's it, Mario. For me, obviously, it would be much easier for me to do these events in Portuguese, because obviously it's my mother language. But I believe that it's important for you guys to listen English, even though my English is not native English, but any English is going to be better than no English, especially if you are going to validate your qualification, because you need to get minimum scores of your English test. If you don't have your English test with the minimum scores, you're not going to be validated, because when you submit your application to Engineers Australia, you need to send the test results of your English test. So that's why it's important for you, obviously, not just listen to English, but also participate in events. Engineers Australia has many webinars, and they are in English, and you can participate in those webinars. A lot of them, they are for free. If they are not free, it may cost $20, $30 to participate. And you also can use that as your continuing professional development, which is another prerequisite for the validation process. So participate in the webinars, read technical magazines, read technical specifications, read the safety legislation, read the environmental legislation. It's all going to help your English. It's going to help your CPD. It's going to help your career episodes as well. And if you don't know what career episodes, what CPD is, you just need to participate in the free workshop that's going to happen starting on Sunday, 19th of May, 9 a.m. Brisbane time, Monday and Tuesday, 7 p.m. Brisbane time. In 3 live sessions, you will learn everything you need to know to start your application. We finish on Tuesday. You can start your application on Wednesday. Obviously, you're not going to apply, but you can start putting together all the documentation. You can start planning. You can start deciding what you're going to do in terms of your validation process and become an engineer here in Australia. The link is in my bio. Just make sure that once you submit your registration for the workshop, you check for your email, the confirmation email. If you don't get the email, it's probably because it went to the junk mail box. So if that went to junk mail box, you just need to then save my name, my email address in your contacts and mark as a favorite. So you're not going to miss out in my emails. Got another question here in Instagram from Felipe Santos. Can you give us some tips about how to choose our 3 career episodes? Yes, I can. And also, just talking about tips, if you also go to my profile, in the highlights, in Portuguese, I think it calls destaques, I've recorded already 100 tips to improve your chances to get validated as an engineer in Australia. So there's a lot of tips there. Actually, there are 2 highlights because each highlight can just kind of record 100 tips. So, but check in my highlights, there's a whole heap of tips to help you. But I can give you some tips about how to choose your experiences for your career episodes. The first tip, it's probably the most important one. You need to look at the ANZ SEO, which is the Australian New Zealand Standard Classification of Occupations from the Australian government, from the Bureau of Statistics, and find your occupation. If you're going to, what type of engineer are you, Felipe? Is civil, mechanical, chemical, environmental? Why is that? Because when you look at the ANZ SEO occupation definition, with that definition, you need to make sure that your experiences that you're going to use in your career episodes, that experience is going to match with the definition. And Felipe, he's a production engineer, and there is a production engineer definition there. So when you choose your experiences, you need to make sure that those experiences, they match with the definition of the ANZ SEO occupation, okay? Obviously, when another tip is that always good to use examples, because you need to use experiences that you've done already. It's not something that you're going to do or something that you would do, is experiences that you've done already. So make sure that you provide clear examples, plenty of engineering evidences, so Engineers Australia is not going to question about your career episodes, okay? There's some comments here in YouTube. Denso Enoch said, great work. Yeah, thank you very much, Denso, for the feedback. Mario also said, perfect. Thanks for the explanation. In my case, I want to validate my degree of electrical engineer. And you know, Mario, electrical engineers here in Australia is very rare. There's not a lot of electrical engineers, and we last year and the year before, we tried to recruit electrical engineers with experience of construction or site experience, and we couldn't find it. And it was not a job that a simple job was. We were paying very well. We were paying almost $130,000, $140,000 a year, but we couldn't get those engineers with electrical engineering background and a little bit of a site experience. So electrical engineers, especially if you are an electrical engineer with infrastructure projects, with heavy projects, you will not find difficulties to get a job as an engineer. All right. Okay, so 50 minutes. I will answer a question that I received in the workshops, and probably then I will wrap up tonight's session. A good question about the CPD, continuing professional development. Courses that are not directly related to civil engineering, can they be mentioned in the CPD? For example, Masters in Management and Industrial Engineering, Diploma of Marketing and Communication, Advanced Diploma in Leadership and Management, Graduate Diploma in Leadership and Innovation. And the answer is yes, you can mention them in your CPD. Oh yeah, Jerson, but let's say here, Graduate Diploma in Leadership and Innovation. Why should I mention that in my CPD if it's not an engineering course? Well, if you go to the competencies, if you think that, well, if they are asking some competencies for the engineering, it's because it's relevant. For example, PE 3.6, it's about your experience in team, as a team member and as a team leader. So if they are asking you to prove competencies as a team member, as a team leader, it's because probably a graduate diploma in leadership will help you to do that as well. So that's why I believe you can include in there. Obviously, you will have lots and lots of CPD events related to engineering, and then you're going to use some that are not quite directly related to civil or to engineering. Innovation. Innovation also, PE 3.3. It's about innovation. It's about ingenuity. It's about creativity. And obviously, if you did a graduate diploma in leadership and innovation, it will also help, because you can even say that as part of the PE 3.3, you completed a graduate diploma in leadership and innovation, which then you used that knowledge to implement something new in the job that in the project that you delivered. Okay. All right. So I would like to thank you guys very much for your patience and for your time tonight. And don't forget to hit the like button. And we will see, probably, I think I've got another 1 or 2 consultations that I'm going to do either next week, I think. I will put in my Instagram and in the WhatsApp groups as well. So make sure that you register to the workshop, and I'll see you either in a live session here on Instagram and YouTube, or I'll see you in the workshop. Okay? Thank you very much, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.